Your Bachelor audition ends tonight, so get out.
Bachelor Nation villain Thomas Jacobs has no regrets about his time on The Bachelorette. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Shared News from Home. We've got all the details you need to know about Thomas and The Bachelor, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss out on any future videos. Thomas is opening up more about his time on Katie's season on Bryan and Mike Johnson's podcast, Talking Out Loud.
I've learned you're not going to please everybody. And
for damn sure.
One of the biggest battles that I had, and one of the reasons why I think things went so sideways for me is I was generally running around trying to make everybody as happy as possible at all times. And more often than not, if you're doing that, you're doing it at the detriment, you're doing it at the sacrifice of yourself.
I think he's kind of referring to his time on Katie's season where he was really trying to maybe be a big brother or like a mentor to a lot of the guys in the house who were a little bit more insecure and not so sure of themselves about getting time with Katie. But I think Thomas also messed up in different routes on Katie's season, most notably when he openly admitted that the thought of being the Bachelor crossed his mind. I think that was like the moment that really set everyone off against him and made a lot of the guys turn on him. But in Thomas's defense, he's kind of just letting us know that he was really trying to take care of everyone and please everyone, and that's what ended up backfiring on him. So Thomas even talked about how he prepared to go into Paradise after receiving the backlash he did from the guys on Katie's season. The reason why I don't have any qualms about going through the journey I went through is I feel that I stayed level-headed. I didn't call anyone out a name. I showed respect even when things were coming at me very, very directly. And I can say that I'm proud of the way that things were handled, and all I can do is try to share love with the guys. See, this is where it gets a little bit confusing because yes, Thomas was the villain of the season, but how much of that was him actually being the villain and how much of that was all of the guys kind of ganging up on one particular person? We see this every season on The Bachelor, and I'm sure you've seen it in real life situations. Sometimes relationships build and friendships build off of the hatred or dislike towards one other person, and maybe that one other person didn't necessarily do something so significantly wrong, but it's a way for the others in a group to kind of bond, and then people, you know, kind of just form their opinions on that one person based on like the domino effect and just wanting to fit in and adapt to a group. So I feel like Thomas kind of got that edit, but also that treatment in the house. Yes, he did say some of the wrong things, but when you really look at it from a hindsight, a lot of the other guys like Aaron and James, Trey, I mean, even Hunter, when on The Bachelorette, they were kind of saying ruder and maybe some meaner things about Thomas than Thomas was even saying about them. So he does have a point. And when he got into Paradise, the first thing he wanted to do, other than pull some of the ladies around, was apologize to Aaron, James, Trey, and Carl. He pulled all the guys aside. And it kind of didn't really work out too well for him because they already were talking trash about him on the beach before he even got there and while he was on his date with Serena P. So it almost feels like Thomas doesn't have a win. And I guess I'm kind of defending Thomas here, but I just feel like, why is it fair for all the other guys to say mean things about him, but he's not allowed to say anything about anyone else? So Thomas obviously ended up taking Serena P on that date, and he had to explain himself to Serena about what happened on Katie's season, which really becomes frustrating for him because he doesn't necessarily have a clean start. And then he has to tell the guys that this is affecting my relationship now with some of the girls. So it's super frustrating for Thomas. And Thomas even got asked on the podcast what his thoughts were if he was going to be the next Bachelor. And Thomas responded and said, "My personal favorite flower is a sunflower. I'm sticking to that side of things. I'm done with roses." I mean, Thomas, your Bachelor audition ended exactly when Katie sent you home on The Bachelorette. So I don't necessarily think he was in the running, but I do think he has a possibility to get a redemption story and gain back some support from Bachelor Nation on this season of Paradise. So we'll see what happens when Becca Kuf shows up and how their relationship develops throughout the season. And you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think. Is Thomas being painted and depicted as someone he's not, or is his actions justified? Do the guys have reasons to not like him and say these horrible things about him? Let me know in the comments down below, because that is everything I have to share with you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe and ring the bell because we'll be back with more Bachelor news. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality. My social media handle is on the screen right now, so be sure to give me a follow and say hello. I will catch you guys next time. See you later.